Hey friends, it's Deanna here today, and today we are going to be sewing the the kids Free to Be Me tank. And it's a really cute tank. It's got like a swing, and it's got like little points that come out. It's gathered at the front, it's got elastic on the back, and it's got binding on the sides. So it's super cute, and we're gonna go ahead and sew it together. But before I get started, let me remind you of our fun giveaway of $50 Ellie and my gift certificate. And that we do every month, and all you have to do to be registered for it or signed up for it is to go ahead and subscribe to our channel and then comment below, and that's how you will be entered to win. So go ahead and do that. If you're not subscribed, pause right now and subscribe to our channel and comment below, and then you're entered. So let's get started. Once again, I'm using the Free to Be Me tank pattern from Ellie and Mac, and let's do it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to hem the bottom of our top of our tank, and the bottom is the part that has the two points that go out, and so we're just going to fold them 1/2 inch up and hem. You can use any kind of stretch stitch to hem, or you can use a cover stitch, double needle, any of those things will work. So I'm doing 1/2 inch hemming. Come on. I'm doing both sides, but I'm only going to go ahead and hem one right now to show you. Right here, when it comes to the point, either you can go up and then down, or you can kind of round it up. It's fine either way. Right here on the sides, you will see that a little bit still pokes out. That's okay, because when you sew the two sides together, you'll catch that tail and eat it, so don't worry about that. So 1/2 inch up, and then I'm going to go ahead and hem. I'm using the cover stitch to hem today. Now what we're going to do is put this aside. Hemmed, see? If you do not have a cover stitch, it is amazing for hemming. So easy, and ends up looking so great. Just gonna go ahead and steam it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and work on getting our binding done. I already did some of these steps to my other binding, my arm bindings. This is my neck binding. So I'm going to do it on this one, but we're going to do it on all of them. So you're going to prep all of them at the same time so they're ready for you to use, okay? One thing, this step, sometimes it's easier to do with some fabrics than others. This is... I think it's IDY from Millie Mae Fabrics. So it's like, it's got a great stretch, but it doesn't like fold. It's really nice to work with. I love it. Okay, so now this is the back side. We're gonna fold it in half, wrong sides together, create a crease. This is how you create binding. So any kind of binding, this is how you're gonna do it. Then we're gonna go ahead and open it and go from the top down to the middle crease, and then the bottom up to the middle crease. So now they're both touching each other. So they're both touching just like this to that middle crease. And I'm gonna steam. And then now that they're both touching, I'm gonna fold them right in the middle. And there it is. Okay, so the two sides came to the middle, and then you folded them, sandwiched them in between, and closed it up. And there is my binding. And you're going to do that for, this is the neck, but you're also going to do it for the arm bindings. So now I'm going to put my neck bindings right here. And I'm going to grab my front. Let's see. Which was my front? I'm pretty sure this is my front, and I usually always label them, and this time I didn't, and now I'm like, figured it out. My front is gonna have my sleeves. See, right there. So this is my front, the short one is my front. So I'm gonna put my front right here, and I'm gonna gather it the width of my binding. Okay, so there's my binding, this is my front. So I'm gonna gather it. The way I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a long straight stitch on my sewing machine because it's just a little part and it's easy. I just kind of hold on to the thread right here to give it a little bit of tension, and then it kind of gathers on its own. And it's pretty much the width. It just needs a little bit more. Just gonna pull it a little bit to make it the width of that binding. All right. Now that it is the width of that binding, still needs a little bit more right here on this side. Even those ruffles down a little bit. We're gonna open that binding. So it's just like that. Open it up like that. And we're gonna place our, up a little bit, see if you can see it. Okay, so we opened it up. We're gonna place our top right on top of that, like to the middle, making sure our gathers are nice and even. Looks like there's too many gathers on this side. There we go. And then we're gonna fold this right on top. So we're gonna sandwich that in there. That makes sense? We're gonna pull these up to the middle, and then we're gonna close them in. And I am going to pin it down. All the way. Making sure it's tucked in there. Okay, see, in the back and the front, that is tucked in there. We're gonna go ahead and top stitch. You can zigzag stitch, you can do your double needles, you can actually put a bunch of pins in there if you want so they don't fall down. It's kind of falling down, so I'm pulling it back up. So you might want to pin it a whole bunch of times. I think mostly it fell down because I was holding it straight up to show you. Yeah, so you can go ahead and pin it a couple more times just to be sure. So now I'm going to go ahead and top stitch that. I'm going to use my cover stitch, but if you want to use your zigzag stitch on your sewing machine or any kind of stitch like that, that will be just fine. Okay, now I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing to my armbands. So I'm going to show you right now because it's the same thing. I'm going to open this up. Okay, so once this is sewn together, I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to stick my arm side right here. Oh, my table is knocking my camera, making it all wobbly. And I'm going to fit it in there, and I'm going to sandwich it in here. To the end, and pin, and go all the way up. And it's just going to be straight up. So if you want to top stitch it all the way up, that's fine. And you're going to do the same on the other side. So fit it in there, inside, covered it, and then top stitch it all the way across. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to top stitch the front first, then I'm going to do the band and then the other band, and then we'll move on to our next step. All right, as you can see, I top stitched in all the way in. I do have some what do you call it? Basting stitch that I need to pull out, but I'll do that later. And then I top stitched my straps on as well. So now my front is pretty much done. I'm gonna grab my back and I'm gonna find where I'm gonna place those straps. So I'm going to fold it in half first. Don't turn off, I need you. I'm gonna fold it in half first. And we're gonna memory crease that half. Then we're gonna go in from the sides to the middle. Excuse me. That came out of nowhere. Thank you. I know one of you said bless you or salud. That's how we say bless you in Spanish when somebody sneezes. So I'm memory steam the two sides. That way I know that's where I'm going to put them, where I made that. So if you want to go ahead and just mark it instead of just having a steam, it's up to you. You can do that. So salud literally means health. But that's what we say. So we wish you health. And then if you sneeze 2 more times, the next time you sneeze, first is salud, second is dinero, and third is amor. So first we wish you health, then we wish you riches or money, and then we wish you love. And I don't know why love comes last, but that is how it is. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm putting my front face up on my board. How cute is this gonna be? This already is looking so cute. I'm gonna put my back on top of it, face up as well, showing me. Now this is one way you can put the straps on now, or if you wanna wait and put the straps on later, you can do that too. And I'll show you when you would put them on. But I'm gonna go ahead and put them on now. So I'm gonna cross them and I'm gonna come right here where it's supposed to be, okay? Do you see where they're supposed to be? Right here. So what we wanna do is actually, let's turn them all the way around because we don't wanna sew them on the outside, we wanna sew them on the inside. So let's turn this wrong face up. I don't know what I was thinking. Wrong face up. And let's turn this wrong face up. And then we're gonna bring these. And I want them to be like the right side to be facing out. I am confusing myself. I'm sorry. I got this. I'm gonna put it up here. I'm gonna fold it. I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay, there is my straps. This is right side up. Then my straps are right side up. I'm going to my back. I'm just gonna put it right side up right here. And then I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna put it, this is exactly the same thing I was doing earlier. Why did I get so confused? I'm gonna put the right side of the strap to the right side of my top. Confused myself to no end. I don't know why I do these things. It was the same thing I did earlier. And then I'm like, no, that doesn't look right. Oh, no, doesn't look right. Okay, so now what you can do is if you want to go ahead and sew those on or top stitch them on, I'm just going to do a basting stitch because I'm going to fold, we're going to fold the hem down to make the casing. So just a top stitch will do for me right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and, baste stitch. So I'm just basting it on. Baste that other one as well. Okay. Okay, so now they're basted on, and I don't worry about the other part right now. I'm gonna fold this. I'm gonna put it right side down, and I'm going to go ahead and fold this. Okay, if you're doing woven, you would do 1/4 of an inch down and then an inch down, because on a woven you have to have a little hem. If you don't, if it's raw, the hem is gonna start fraying. But with a knit, which is what this is, you can just fold it down. Move that strap out of the way. You can just fold it down a whole, move this out of the way, fold this down a whole 1.25 inches. Okay, you can go ahead and measure. I usually don't really measure. I'm bad at that. So I'm just measuring this time because we're creating a casing and you want to make sure that your elastic is going to fit in there. Okay, so I'm going to steam. And then I'm going to top stitch from one end to the other, hem or top stitch. So if you want to do a zigzag stitch, if you're using woven, you just do a straight stitch all the way down. I am going to use my cover stitch, and then that will also help the straps where I basted them. It will catch them, hopefully. You know, you should catch them and help to sew them on. And then later we're going to have to top stitch again a little bit higher up on the straps so that it doesn't just fall down. So you'll have to do that later, but I'll do that after I put in my elastic. So I'm going to go ahead and top stitch that to create that casing for our elastic to go in. Okay. All right, so it has been top stitched. And like I said, I cut my strap in, but you will have to top stitch it again up here, because if not, then it can just fold right down. But I'll do that after I put my elastic in. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put my elastic, where did it go? It just fell on the ground, I heard it. And I'm gonna use a bobby pin. Oh. It's like one of these big pins. No, it's not a bobby pin. It's a safety pin. Bobby pin is what you put in your hair. Y'all are just letting me talk nonsense. And you're gonna fit it through. All the way. All right, so I pulled my elastic through. And I had a hard time because I didn't measure very well. And so I didn't really do 1.25 inches like I was going to. So yeah, but it fit. It's good. We're good. Okay, so now I have a tiny bit of elastic hanging out the edge on both sides. You can now go back and top stitch if you would like, all the way around, up and over and down, and top stitch those straps in place. I will do that last. Because of, I don't know. I don't want to do it right now. I'm not top stitching the whole thing. Okay, so I am going to grab my top and make sure and put it right sides together, but make sure your straps are right, how they're supposed to be. So here I can tell that they're right. Now they're right on top of each other, and I'm going to grab my sides together and put them right on top of each other and pin. Making sure that the end matches right here at the edge, so they're going to be straight, and then pinning that side seam all the way to the top, and make sure this top matches as well, and make sure that it's lined up correctly and that the elastic is hanging out a little bit at the top, so that way it gets caught in there. And then you can pin as much as you want or as little as you want. It's really up to you. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. If you want it, like I said, if you top stitch all the way around, then your elastic will be right there and you won't have any problem with it trying to come in or whatever. I don't have any problem right now because this fabric is so easy to work with. So it's being so nice. And even though I made it not big enough, it has such good stretch that he just let me stretch it and it was fine. Okay, so I'm pinning that side and we're going to sew that side and we're basically done. All we'll have to do is top stitch those straps and tuck in the tails. Okay, if you didn't do the straps first, if you didn't tie them to the back, right now is where you can go ahead and top stitch them to the back if you didn't do, you know, the confusing part I got all confused on for no reason. Yeah, you could do them now. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew this on. All right, our top is done. We just need to, okay, so here where we have that tail that hangs out, the tail, what I do is I fold them down to the seam, over the seam, and sew a zigzag stitch right over that seam, catching those tails in there. And that keeps them from going anywhere. And then I just trim it and voila, can't even see it. So I'm gonna do the same for the other tails. I'm going to take off this basting stitch. Here's another tail. I'm gonna take off this basting stitch and I'm gonna top stitch my straps at the top so that they don't fold down when worn. And that is it. We are done. We finished this cute little tank. Let me show you how cute this is. How cute is this tank? Clipping all these tails. Cute. I love the flowy feel to it. The two-side flowy feel. The elastic in the back ties it in. Cinches it at the waist. How cute is this thing? Tell me it's not the cutest thing you've ever seen. I love it. And I love this fabric too, so that helps a lot. All right, I'm gonna take a picture of it, post it for y'all to see. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Please comment, like, share. Let me know if you have any questions about anything I did. And then come join us on Facebook or Instagram so you can see what we're making and we can see what you're making. Share it with us. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time.